you do any like stretching to strengthen it and stuff?
Did some warm up stuff beforehand, but I don't know what I did. I need to start doing some more yoga.
Yes, yoga is the answer to everything.
It really is. Yoga's great.
Oh, but like whenever you asked the question this morning, I immediately thought of that video I sent.
That was a good video. I'm still watching some. It opens some. There's too many things to watch right now. Yeah, Shannon, I've now remembered that there's videos for this class too that I need to catch.
Yeah, quite a few.
There were like 3 of them over the weekend.
You can do it over the break.
That's a good idea. Binge watch. Yeah.
Mhm. Instead of Netflix, just
Instead of Netflix.
Who needs an
You have yes.
yes.
Teach me about requirements and risk management, please.
Okay.
I watched the first 2 as well.
What's your first 30 minutes today? So
I'll share the things.
yeah, that's the new one.
Sir Anthony watched 4 episodes last night.
I only watched the first episode.
Oh, okay.
Stranger Things just came out.
Yeah.
Oh, Concert Things.
I heard it's like in chunks. It's only like the first section's available now and
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the first 4 or 5 episodes. I think the last half of the season comes out right before Christmas and then the finale's on New Year's.
I just wait until it's all available.
It's really good. Honestly, I like that they're releasing it slowly because I don't want to have to binge watch an entire season in like 3 days. To like not get spoiled by the internet. No, because if you don't watch it once it's released, like you'll read some spoiler somewhere and you're like, well now I know what happens.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I actually I like Apple TV's approach with Pluribus, where they're like just releasing 1 episode a week, because then like Sunday night I just go and like watch it with my partner. That's a good one. That's way to do it.
Okay. Okay, if no one else shows up, maybe we can watch a few more episodes then.
There are a lot of people online today.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm fast. Yes.
I've seen Seattle in the past.
15 to 3. Okay.
That's even great.
When we implemented hybrid, I imagined it's somewhat the other way around. Like, okay.
It doesn't help that about half the people are in South Korea too.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a commute.
But okay, just shows if you have the option. People are free to choose. Good. Yeah. So, yeah, let's start. So, okay, good. So, yeah, next week we have the midterms. Since everyone signed up for that week, it's gonna be a longer day. So today, I mean, there's some imbalance. So I expected a few maybe presentations today. So there's not gonna be much on the agenda except for like some status reports, like, or maybe some general questions. I think Ryan had a general question already today. Yeah, we'll just go through the different subsystems, and once we're done with the open status update, maybe I could even propose to go. I don't know, like this street. So that I go into the different breakout rooms, maybe depending on the situation here, I might do that in the office then, let's see. Good, so you, maybe general questions first. Yeah.
So I had one kind of in the midterm deliverables, there's a question around like, what is our risk management approach? And so that kind of piqued my interest in terms of like, what are the deliverables expected as part of the project? So like, are we expected to do a formal risk assessment? Are we expected to do like work breakdown structures? And like, what's the scope of work that we're expected to do here outside of the technical engineering aspect? Because I guess my brain was thinking more into the technical engineering, but it like also realized that there's all the systems engineering that definitely needs to get done too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I have in mind is a simple risk assessment. Basically, you figure out, okay, what are the most relevant technical risks you can focus, since you're only focused on one particular subsystem in your case. Figure out like what are potential risks with our approach in the different phases. So, but from the technical perspective, so you don't have to do the project management, systems engineering perspective this semester. Probably wouldn't help that much. Like, unless, for example, you would say, oh, whatever we're developing, it needs 2 years of testing or whatever, then that's definitely a risk for the project, but I assume that's not going to be the case. So, yeah, just a simple table. This is the risk. This is the how do you call it? Like the impact it can have, and then maybe some mitigation. Just a basic
Okay,
table.
sure, not super detailed, but like a little,
Yeah,
we've thought about this is our approach, and this is
Yeah.
our assessment.
exactly.
Okay,
Should we just follow that ECSS document for it? So it's like ECSS MST EDC.
Um,
And it was referencing like
that's
in
a
the
pretty
slide, it
simple
was,
procedure, yeah.
yeah, it was like referencing Annex B and C and.
yeah, that's a bit like, okay, yeah, the reference, in that case, I don't mean that you need to use that reference. Like what I have in mind is really just a matrix with like maybe 3 columns or something. This is our risk, this is what impact we will have, and this is how we could mitigate. Okay.
Which is what the same, well, but
Yeah.
it's like a 4-step process, it's not super complicated.
Yeah, so, but of course, that's a nice reference if you want to learn more about it. But also there the lecture videos. When we have like when we do the projects with like mission design and different work packages, and we start from scratch, and we have a project management systems engineering team, they would usually have to deliver a bit more. But in your case, that's not possible. That's not necessary.
This is like from my own, but this is like something.
Oh, yeah,
It's kind
okay.
of just matrix.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mind, you can't really see, but like you have like a.
Yeah.
Minor.
That's what I meant with like the impact, yeah, how strong the impact is. Okay. Just a bit more readable. Maybe. Yeah, any other general questions?
I guess kind of stemming off of that, like, how much do you want us to cover things that are outside the scope of this semester? If we have, um, risks that we foresee in the future, like testing that we know needs to be done, but not within like the timeline of what we have right now.
Mm-hmm. So risks could, in this, in ADCS, for example, the risks could also happen in orbit. So during testing, like, yeah, that's something you should also take. So not just focused on this semester and your tasks now, also later.
Could you maybe talk a little more about, so I think the last time you mentioned something about like the interface document.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a good one to touch on? So again, like there is like a reference document to pull from. And but what would be the exact expectations there? Just like outlining, here's the external interfaces, here's the internal interfaces.
Mm-hmm.
Here's our-
Okay, the interface control document. Did I upload something, or did I just added reference to
It was just referenced briefly, I'll check the slides.
Okay. I mean, it's difficult to answer for your work package because you're focusing on, or no, it's actually not, because you already picked a specific payload, right? So in your case, just thinking about your case, you probably want to define the interfaces. You had the hardware.
So like the OBC comm system.
Yeah, OBC comm system, hardware, software interfaces to different subsystems. Data, electrical interface, mechanical interface. Yeah, so basically just that, like, I mean, you could add lots of columns to the ICD, but I think it's fine if you reduce that to some bare minimum. Yeah, voltage, data, mechanical connection.
I have a question.
Mhm.
You said we need to do this review as a is an SRR or like a phase zero or a and a. We don't need to cover all of the things in the SRR in the table that you upload in a midterm midterm preparation
Ah,
template.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, mm, yeah, so I think that sometimes I mark the wrong column, I think with colors, something shifted. But yeah, so you see the SRR and the deliverables for the SRR from the ECSS. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, systems requirements review. Um, yeah, as I said last time, usually we're still at like kind of like a phase A study, but we jump ahead and act as if you're doing already like preliminary detailed designs, like more preliminary designs. Um, so what you can do is like you can just you remember all the bullets that I wrote down last time? Maybe I'll just open that document again. Where's that? Where are the slides? Second session,
There's one that's just called midterm review.
midterm, I think, so, yeah. There's so many slides here. Midterm preparation. Okay, thanks a lot. So I think you're referring to these tables, yeah? So those would be the deliverables. And usually when you plan a project, and you know like let's say you're getting money from ESA, and you need to develop a project in the phase B, like you got a contract for phase B, then you would go to this matrix, you would go to the annex, and then you would create like a justification, like a tailored, like a yeah you would how do you call it? You tailor this, and then there's this name for this document where you create like a tailoring matrix, and you say um, the following standards apply. So, and it's actually really you go into this annex, and then you pick out the paragraphs, or the sections, the paragraphs that actually apply to your project. So you need to agree on those. You don't just say, we're going to do the whole project according to ECSS, and so you just narrow it down to the most important parts. But still, these items here, as you can see from the titles on the left, um, I mean, in pretty much almost, yeah, every project, it makes kind of sense to add these in yeah, to some depth at least. And what I did basically for you is you can just focus on the bullets that I already picked. So you don't have to go to, I don't know, like, okay, I need to go to this annex and I need to exactly do it like it says there. Like, you can basically just do it like this. Like I already did the tailoring for you. So what my expectations are. Um, Yeah, so when I say, for example, the project breakdown structure, you could just tell me like, okay, I mean, you have 3 people in your team. How did you break down your work package into sub work packages? How do you organize yourself? It's probably just gonna be 2 slides, 3 slides or something, not that much. What cost do you expect? What is your schedule? And then also the risk management that we just described. Maybe it's 5 slides. You just do like an intro, project management intro for your own work package, and you can just focus on these. Like if you these references can be helpful, if you don't really, if you want to see like what that actually means, what is configuration management, then of course it's helpful to go back and to just open that and then get a better idea of what it actually means. So that's why I put it here. But since time is scarce and going through all the annexes could be a bit overkill, I highly recommend just to do it like what I picked here already. But skimming is always great. Like I definitely recommend at least to skim some of these documents here, just to get an idea of, okay, how it's structured, what's the content. Yeah, so basically you're addressing project management, you're addressing systems engineering, we're skipping technical requirements. And yeah, I went through this last time, since system engineering, and then you're addressing the design itself, and it's going to be like the bigger part where you actually talk about the design, right? And yeah, you need to really pick the most relevant parts for you. So since your work packages are very different this semester, then you're going to see what applies to you.
Okay, and I have another question. You said like the cost management part. How can we estimate the cost in here? Like,
Okay,
and
so
what is the difference between the the work package distribution and the schedule part? Like, yeah, I can understand the difference between the schedule and the distribution of work packages, but should we present it separately?
Okay, so when it comes to the work breakdown structure, I would say, I mean, you're going to present yourself, you're going to say, hey, we're team solar panel deployment. We're 3 members, and member 1 is doing this, member 2 is doing that, member 3 is responsible for this. And we've broken down our work package into, I don't know, the electrical connections, the solar cells, etc., then the mechanical deployment and materials and whatnot. So you have like a smaller work breakdown structure for your team. So you just basically need to break it down and then also assign the responsibilities. I mean, something that you're probably already living, I just put it on paper. Then the schedule is for this semester, there's going to be a schedule, right? So we're at this stage currently until until we deliver the document. We want to do the following things and reach the following maturity. You can, of course, but I mean I think limited to that. Of course, you could create like a schedule for the future, like if you want to manufacture this, etc., etc. In this work package specifically, since the future is still very open, just focus on this semester. I think the ADCS work package is probably closer to implementation. You could probably add a bit longer timeline beyond the scope of this semester. And the costs, I mean, I think you can estimate the cost. Like you last time or 2 weeks ago, you presented like different approaches, and then you told me that you're most likely going to pick the number 1 or 2, was it, like with the flexible hinges, I think, and you can already estimate the costs by the end of the semester, I think, for developing like a flight ready deployable solar panel, including maybe some engineering models that you need or qualification models that you need. So what I expect is like a basic cost breakdown, okay, for this semester's prototype, you could order some parts. Probably you don't need the real solar cell, right? So you're just going to demonstrate maybe using some basic material, aluminum or even wood or 3D printed materials and some hinges. Just going to be very little cost this semester, I assume. But then for the future, you could say, what, we need the following functional or engineering models. We need a qualification model to show that the deployment works. Those are the costs for that. And then later for the flight model, we estimate the following costs if we had to manufacture it. So I think it's possible to do that this semester.
Okay, you mean like you want for cost estimation, you want it for whole project, not just this semester?
Yes. Yeah, of course, yeah, you always need to check like what's reasonable. Like, do we just focus on this semester? Of course, I don't need a cost breakdown for like this very simple prototype. Just not gonna cost that much, I assume. But of course, for the future, then for costs, I would say for the future, for really creating this, and so that we know should we move forward with this, and if we see that the costs are reasonable, it fits into the overall budget, then why not next semester, continue with this work package and say maybe we can even implement it in the current Pulse configuration, like if we make really good progress, then we can extend the operation time. So that's certainly an option if you make really good progress.
Okay, thank you.
So it's 5 minutes for both the project management plan and the systems engineering plan.
No, 5 minutes for the project management plan or like in general, the overhead, yeah, for together for both. I assume that the systems engineering aspects are probably also part of your core work. So, I mean, it talks about like verification, validation, the system architecture. I think this is already core. Some of you will be taking care of this as their main work. So, what I meant, like the 5 minutes overhead, are probably going to focus mostly on the project management. I mean, it's up to you to still distribute it. I think I had something weird on this slide here. Let me see. I know I wrote about 5 minutes. Okay, yeah, about could be 4 minutes, 6 minutes, yeah. But at least I want everyone to be here and not just for a few seconds. So just try to be reasonable. Like it's up to you to distribute the exact minutes. I'm not gonna count like, okay, they did 5 minutes project management. If you did 2 and then the rest is more technical, that's fine. But I'm definitely at some point gonna cut off if it's gonna be too long overall, like or I have to ask one to skip one person or something, because if I cut you off, then maybe one person doesn't present at all. So yeah, try to time it well. Yeah. Another question.
Okay. We split this midterm review part, like project management, concept design, and the risk and plan part. Like they distributed to 3, and we're gonna present it like this. Actually, if it's for you, we planned like that and
Okay.
working on this.
Yeah, let me repeat. Like you have one person for project management.
Yeah, and the other person is going to talk about the concepts and which one did we pick and why we did that. And the other person is going to present risks and the others verification part, I guess, as I remember.
Okay. Yeah, you just need to see like okay, there are 4 parts then, like management, risks, concepts, and verification.
Verification and the risk part is going to be the same person because only the risks are not up to 5 minutes. So
Okay. What
we're going to start with the mission objectives and concepts and the others, and the other person is going to continue with the concept designs and which one we pick, and like the other person risks and functional views, budgets, verifications, like we distributed it like this, not pick everything that we saw on the SRR. We try to distribute the tasks like equally.
Yeah, then make sure, because like if some parts are missing, you're gonna send me the slides on Friday, right? If I feel like there's some major aspects missing and I have lots of question marks on my notes, then yeah, just go through this whole slide set and see like, okay, what I usually want to see, like think about if it's reasonable to add it. Um, regarding the distribution of your of how you present, of course, it might be a bit yeah, it might be just imagine my position. I need to assess everyone. Um, and if there's one person who only talks about like the project's organization, and and since this is a technical class, I certainly would have the question like, okay, what is your what is the technical task? You know, what did you do technically in the past months? And when I ask questions, then I might cross-examine, you know, like I might ask you technical questions then, although you presented project management, because I want to see like that you were also part of the process of the other work packages. So usually what I'd imagine is that someone covers these project management aspects, but also presents at least like some of the technical aspects that they were responsible for.
Okay. I actually like I'm gonna present the project management plan part, but I did something else too, but I'm not sure. Like we distributed separately because you said like we need to talk 5 minutes. Then it will be like too chaotic if I interpret something else um, after I did my presentation. So if you gonna ask questions about the technical stuff, of course, like yeah, maybe we should change the order of I don't know, like
Yeah, so
I couldn't understand what you mean that.
okay, so I mean you're three people. What I imagine like might be reasonable. Just okay, I'm just gonna walk you through like an example of how you distribute the speaker time. Okay, one of you starts and presents the team, your core objectives, how you organize yourself, work breakdown structure, and the schedule. Like what do you plan to do, etc. Then the second person says, you know what, I'm just going to briefly explain our risk management approach, and then also going to break down the costs. So those were the first 5 minutes. You had two speakers, you know, who had like two different areas of focus in the presentation. And then you get to the technical part where everyone has 5 minutes to present, you know, like, and then one of you presents like the different concepts you had. For example, I mean, 2 weeks ago you presented the concepts already, right? So just make a brief repetition of that, 5 minutes. One of you can do that, like a general overview. The second person could, whatever concept you picked, could take that concept and describe it in more detail, like from the technical perspective, you know, like the mechanical approach and whatever. And then the third person could talk about whatever, like, yeah, as you stated, like maybe verification methods, test plans, and then I'm sure there's some other aspects, technical aspects that I just don't have in mind right now. But you understand? Like, I think it's
Yeah.
possible to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. Thank you.
Okay, more general questions? Good. Then, yeah, so I said I didn't upload like an example presentation because I went through them like for the past 3-4 semesters, through the midterm presentations. The problem I saw is that none of them were like perfect in the sense that I would say, okay, I'm sharing this and just do it like that. There's always something that I commented in all of them. and then maybe I upload something that is very different from a work package that very different to one of your work packages. So I was a bit hesitant. I didn't want to mislead you by uploading an example from like previous class projects. So, but in some cases, for example, today I sent Sami an example from a few semesters ago where students also did like a general survey of potential payloads for Pocket Cubes. So if you like, I could, of course, share some slides with you for your specific work package, but you need to be careful because this might not be perfect, and it's a different stage of the project. You at least you have the documentation. So from previous semesters, I hope that helps. Okay. Good. Then I would say, yeah, let's go into the different breakout sessions. And today I'd like to join every breakout session because I'm sure like if we're face to face in a smaller group, you probably have more detailed questions about the midterm. I think I prefer that today at least. So I'll create the breakout sessions. We have 2 teams today. So maybe probably you could split somehow, and then I could join you either here. So I will just start with everyone who's in the seminar room. So probably I'll just go to ADCS first. And then I cycle through. Like I'll just drop a chat message and tell you like where I am right now. And then yeah. It's not going to take too long anyway. So I create 5 sessions.
See if I can make them smaller and lighter.
So ADCS. Okay, the rooms are open. Please feel free to pick. I will start with ADCS. And then I will go to alternative